Good morning, everybody. Just getting a few things in line here, so just bear with me a second. Making sure everything is rolling this morning. I hope everyone is doing well. Just having some technical issues this morning. Guys out there, let me know if you guys can see me on Facebook and Instagram. Checking on YouTube here as well. Give me just a few moments. Okay, all right, YouTube is good. Not seeing Facebook at the second. Okay, there goes Facebook. Fantastic. All right, Facebook is up. YouTube is up. Not seeing Instagram. Let me check here. Thank you guys so much for your patience as we work through some of these technicalities, technological complications. Okay, we're going to go live from my phone for Instagram. Instagram, bear with me. Bear with me a second. Thank you guys so much for your patience while I work through this. Certainly appreciate it. Okay. All right. There we go. We'll have to work with this camera angle. All right. Let me jump over here. Okay. Good morning, everybody. A few technicalities this morning, but you know what? We rise and we overcome. So, thank you guys so much for joining today. I hope your Saturday is going well and off to a great start. Our weather here is just wonderful. Just gorgeous temperatures, and I just love it. There's something about cool weather that is just invigorating and refreshing. Just the sun shining, the birds are chirping, the wind is kind of just nice and breezy, not too strong. There's something about that that is just refreshing for the soul just to take it all in. So I hope you guys get to enjoy some vitamin D, some outside time. Just get that spring weather in while it's here. It's gone before we know it. All right. Well, I am pleased to welcome you to the Connie Korbelic Podcast. Here we don't just talk careers, we talk reinvention, both personal and professional. I'm Connie, and I'm your guide through messy, meaningful journey of reinvention. Whether you're navigating job loss, career pivots, or just feeling unseen in the workplace, you're in the right place, and I see you. This space isn't just for those who have it all figured out. It's for those of us who are, rising while the dust is still settling, as we work to reclaim our confidence, rediscover our God-given uniqueness, because we weren't meant to blend in. We were meant to stand out. Right, that unicorn affirmations and things that we talk about. So that's what this whole series is about, our unicorn career series. And we're in our third segment. where we talk about all things rising, reinventing, and finally being seen. We're not defined by what happened. We're defined by what we do with it. As we previously discussed, we had U for unleash potential. We had N for negotiate your worth. If you're curious on those discussions, I invite you to go back and watch a few previous episodes. They are live on all the platforms, so Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Feel free to check those out. Today, we're going to dive into the letter I for innovation. And this is just about making yourself unforgettable. Good morning, Mitch. Hello, Blair. So good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to jump in and just see if we've got any additional comments on the socials real quick. Give me a second. All right. Tony Smith, thanks so much. DC's in the house. That is awesome. Thank you so much for checking in. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right. So we'll get right back into what we're discussing today. So that I for innovation, we're discussing personal innovation as visibility and basically just reinventing yourself to be seen again. We're talking visibility engine, becoming findable through your story, your presence, and relationships. Micro innovations, those small shifts that can spark really big changes. And then for video resumes, what they are and how important they are to human connection. It's just a modern magnetic way to kind of show up in the job market. So hope you're taking notes, jotting all that down, but we'll dive into each more specifically as we go through. All right, so innovation. Let me be clear. We're not talking about the Silicon Valley tech buzzwords flying around, flying cars, things like that. This is about personal innovation. The kind that gets you seen again, the kind that makes you unignorable in a world that's trying to keep you quiet, and in a society that wants everyone to blend in, right? We were born to stand out, not blend in. So let me just be real for a second. Sometimes it's not just imposter syndrome or burnout that messes with us. It's that ache of feeling invisible, that quiet voice that says, I used to matter. What happened? Or worse, like maybe your thoughts are, is this as good as it gets? If you've ever felt that, I see you. I have been you. And today we're flipping that story. When I talk about innovation, I'm not just preaching it from a mountaintop. I have lived it. There was a season in my life not too long ago where I felt completely unseen. Title was gone, the certainty gone. The identity I'd worked so hard to build in the corporate world was unraveling. I had all this experience, all these wins, but suddenly I felt like a ghost in my own story. And I remember thinking, is this it? Like, is this where my story ends? Is this where I just fade out? But something in me refused to settle for invisibility. I didn't need a new degree. I didn't need a new logo. I needed to remember who I was before I started shrinking to fit in. So I did something wild. I started showing up differently. I got curious again. I opened conversations. I rewrote my LinkedIn with truth, not just titles. I stopped playing small and started showing up as me fully. Full-hearted, heart forward, throwing my heart over the bar, mission aligned. And that's when people started listening and watching. And that's when new connections happened. And that is personal innovation, not a tech breakthrough, a you breakthrough. I'm going to pause and just jump at socials. Oh my goodness, we are blowing up on Facebook. Awesome. Mr. Smith, I'm glad that is relatable. Personal innovation. Yes, all in. Love it. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for the comments and just for watching today. I know this content is relatable, and I'm glad to seeing that it's resonating with you as well. So thank you so much. I appreciate all the love and support, and just building new relationships and foundations with individuals that are absolute unicorns. I am inspired as I continue to see people engage and react and follow them as well. So, guys, I appreciate all the love. All right, we'll jump back through it. So, if you're in a moment right now where you're wondering if your story still matters, I promise you it does. You don't need to become someone else or mimic something else you're seeing. You just need to start showing up as you. More strategic, more aligned than you have ever before. So let's start with the truth that many of us avoid in today's world. Innovation isn't optional. It's essential. Corporations know it, universities know it, and it doesn't just apply there. So whether you're re-entering the job market or trying to stand out in the sea of sameness, of conformity, saying, I deserve to take up space and I deserve to stand out is the most important innovation in what you can do for yourself, and just that boldness. We really have to capture it. So let's unpack why innovation isn't just a tech term. It's a mindset shift that starts with you. If you want to stand out, you don't need to shout louder or become someone you're not. You just have to show up differently, strategically, authentically, and with intention. We've talked about authenticity before in some of my podcast episodes. Be sure to check those out on YouTube and socials. Some powerful things there just on authenticity. Think of yourself as far as innovation and who you are and what you're trying to become, those values, those skill sets you're trying to highlight. Think of it as searching yourself on Google, right? So we're going to create a parallel to an SEO. That's an acronym for search engine optimization. If Google can't find you, it can't rank you, right? It's the same thing in your career. If people don't see you, they're not going to choose you. So I'm not talking about fake visibility here. I'm talking about alignment, being so in tune with who you are and what you bring to the table that the right opportunities can't help but gravitate towards you. So now that we've laid some groundwork, let's shift some gears into something I call the visibility engine. Being brilliant isn't enough if no one can find you. This is where storytelling and online presence and strategic relationships fuel your career. Let's talk about how we become unmissable, unavoidable, right? We are out there and bold and presence everywhere. We'll break this down into some plain speak so everyone can understand it, because this part is absolutely golden. Here's three key things that fuel your career visibility. Number one, just like search engines, that's important is keywords. How do I have keywords? What does that mean, Connie? Keywords are what you're known for, right? So think, what's your thing? Are you the go-to person for someone who cleans up chaos? That well-known chaos coordinator. You Google chaos coordinator and there's all kinds of things on the internet, but that person who makes the team actually want to work together. Those are your keywords. That's your flavor. It's an example. Number two, content. Staying visible without shouting. How do we do that? How do I make myself visible in the talent marketplace? How do I make myself visible and have an online presence so people can search me and find me without being loud and obnoxious and arrogant, right? We don't want those types of things. So you don't have to post every day, but you do have to show up. Share a win, drop a reflection, comment on things on socials with intention. And that could be something, reflections or wins past or present, right? We can apply all of those, whether it's something you've currently captured a win on or something in your career, a past or personal win, right? Maybe you weren't working out and maybe you were able to do a 5K. Share those types of things. Think of it like saying this: hey world, I'm still here, still building, and I'm still worth watching, right? Just show that value that you bring. Number 3 is backlinks. Well, what are backlinks? On a personal standpoint, that's what others say about you. On LinkedIn, there is a recommendation section. That is pure magic. Ask a colleague to share a moment where you work together, but don't just ask them to give advice and kind of explain who you are, but prompt them with something. For instance, you might say something like, could you share what it was like when we worked together on that very tough project? And when people speak your names in rooms you're not in or online on just like things like the recommendations on LinkedIn, that's influence, that's strategy, and that's unicorn level visibility. I'm going to pause there for a second just to look. Awesome. Hi, Jeffrey. Good. I'm glad you've got value from what we've been talking about today. Hi, Sonia. Mr. Smith, innovation, mindset shift that starts with you. Powerful. Yes, 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 yes. And we still got more to unpack. So love it. Let me check Instagram here. Blair, this is so good. Awesome. I'm so glad you're getting value from today. That is amazing. All right. Our next topic is just those small shifts that spark big changes. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the idea of reinvention, okay, all this is great, Connie, but wow, it's a lot. I got you. Innovation doesn't always mean a total overhaul. Sometimes the biggest transformations come from the smallest shifts. Let's zoom into something I'm calling micro moves, something that can unlock major momentum in your life and career. The small, intentional moves that quietly shift your trajectory. You know, one of the most underrated ways to innovate yourself is to simply learn something new. I'm not talking about going back for another degree, unless that's your thing. And hey, I'll go for it, right? Education, continuing your education is always impactful. It helps you stay on the top of technology and education. And, the world in all sectors is changing every 12 to 18 months. So as soon as you learn something, it's going to be outdated and it's just continuing to grow. So always continuing your education certainly helps on personal innovation. But I'm talking about accessible, bite-sized learning. 3 kinds that spark confidence and open doors and just reminds you of your brilliance. So these days, with everything that's available, the world of the internet, there's no excuse not to grow. There are so many free or low-cost courses out there that can really enhance your skills, your perspective, and your visibility. So I'm going to touch on those today. So a few of them. Number 1, probably the most common and well-known is LinkedIn Learning. You have access to a whole library of professional development, everything from project management to leadership to personal branding. The second is Harvard Online Learning. Harvard offers free courses online. Harvard, well-known Ivy League school, free courses. Guys, you have to go check it out and you have to capture that. The courses they offer range from leadership to business to data science, psychology, even public speaking. It's all self-paced, high quality content. I mean, it's Harvard. And not only there to offer, you to options to expand your knowledge, but it also boosts your credibility when you list it, perhaps on LinkedIn or maybe on your resume that you took this Harvard course. It's then going to highlight you in the talent market. The second one, or third one rather, is Udemy. And Udemy is a new platform, kind of like the Netflix of learning, with everything from graphic design to coding and productivity, confidence building, and even how to use things like AI and Chat GPT effectively. They often run huge sales, and I'm talking huge sales, where you can snag solid courses under $20. Under $20. That's 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks. Hello. I know on Udemy, I'm currently working on a certificate with them myself, and I snagged that on sale for $14.99. So, guys, you have to go check that out. Now we'll pause. Let me look at some socials again. Karen, small shifts are key to forming new habits. Absolutely. Yes, right? That repetition over time. Absolutely. Staying consistent. Awesome. Glad to see you guys are getting value. Yes, sharing resources for personal growth and development. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Let me pop at Instagram here. Looking good. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for the love and the feedback and comments. Certainly appreciate that. All right. Now for a little inspiration in action. Welcome to this week's Innovation Spotlight. We're diving into one of the boldest, most modern tools in the job seeker toolkit, the video resume. I'll walk you through why it works, who it's for, and how to make yours magnetic. This one might stretch you a bit, but hear me out. Video resumes are a thing, and it's not just for influencers or creative types. They are showing up in tech, remote roles, and leadership spaces everywhere. This isn't about being a TikTok star. This is about connection. Letting someone experience your energy, your presence, your vibe without ever reading a word on your resume. Letting someone, learn who you are without looking at any of your skills. Remember from last week's episode, we talked on N for negotiate your worth. We talked about what magic happens from an informational interview. That's 60 seconds, right? I talked about how my curiosity for an informational interview got me a part-time job just from that human connection. The video resume is exactly that. It's to present who you are, to give you that edge above your competition before someone even looks or compares your resume to someone else. So a video resume says, here's who I am, here's what I care about, and here's how I show up. That will begin to open doors before you even have to knock. So I have a challenge for you. Record a short video, 60 to 90 seconds maximum. Tell the story of what lights you up. What impact are you ready to make? And if you're feeling bold, share it on LinkedIn or do it as a short on YouTube. You'll start seeing your networking grow and maybe start getting some direct messages and some conversations served from that, I promise. So let's make this fun, right? I came up with this idea. I was like, I have to talk about this. I have to do this on the podcast. So I have a challenge for you. We're going to pretend that you as someone out there in the job market trying to make a change, you're auditioning for a reality show called Corporate Comeback. Who will reinvent their career? You've got 90 seconds to convince the producers, because it's your audition, but this is your audition for your future boss, client, or collaborator, why you belong in the spotlight. Fun? All right, challenge it, do it, record it. If you're feeling bold, post it to your social, but give yourself that space to just show up and innovate your personal self, right? Hey, I'm on a corporate comeback. I'm going to do it this week, right? I'm just going to record it later and I'm going to post mine to my LinkedIn page and I will share it with the Unicorn Career Challenge, like corporate comeback hashtag. So I'm not just going to challenge you guys. I'm going to do it myself too. All right. Innovation doesn't mean that you're building the next iPhone, but it does mean refusing to stay stuck in the version of you that stopped dreaming. You're not invisible. You're just waiting to be reintroduced. So go on, press record and tell the world what they've been missing. You are a unicorn. You were never meant to blend in. All right, I'm going to pause for a second. Tony Smith, awesome. Light bulb discovery. Video is today. Yes, absolutely. Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Well, I am coming to the end. So before we close, I do have a special announcement. Pump the brakes, drum roll. So next week, we are talking confidence, but not the make it or fake it till you make it kind. We're diving into magnetic, real confidence, the kind that walks in a room before you even say a word. And joining me is the one, the only Mitch Race of the Mitch Race podcast, the renowned image strategist, I am so honored to have his expertise and his conversation on confidence in our Unicorn Career Series. Trust me, you are not going to want to miss this one. Um, I just can't say enough about Mitch. I highly respect him, and confidence is his world, and he is the confidence king. So, plan to join us next week following his podcast, but we'll be here Saturday. Let's see what that's going to be. Oh my goodness. Wow. March 19th, Saturday, March 19th, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Right. So go ahead, hit the like, share, or subscribe button, leave a quick comment to help unicorns find this space, and share this episode with someone who's ready to be seen for who they are. Comment and let me know if you're going to watch our confidence conversation next week. As always, keep shining, keep rising, and innovate your way forward starting today. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to watch today. Nice, very inspirational, super C. Thank you. Awesome, Tony. I'm so glad. Yes, Mitch, I'm glad you're excited. I'm so honored. Mitch, you are just fantastic, and I cannot wait to have our audience just hear everything you have to share on confidence. Yes, this is great. Awesome. Karen, thanks so much for the love. I'm glad you got value. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks again for joining today. I'm glad you all got value from today's episode. And I'm so pleased to be here in this space, helping you guys personally and professionally on your reinvention, on your confidence, and just going from being invisible to being seen and confident in who you are and what your purpose is and our God-created path that we all have here to walk. So thank you again. Until next week, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much.